Let's begin this morning with that new plea from Nancy Guthrie's family. The search for the 84-year-old grandmother is now on day 6. Savannah Guthrie shared a new video of her brother. He called out to the person that is holding their mom after an apparent ransom deadline came and went.
This is Camron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
CBS News national reporter Andreas Gutierrez joins us now from Tucson, Arizona. So, Andreas, what's the latest from authorities, where you are, and at this point, how many agencies are involved in the search? As you know, the President of the United States directed all police help that is required to try and find Nancy. I guess we're seeing that on the ground.
Yeah, well, Vlad, we're now 6 days into the search, and there are still more questions and answers revolve around this disappearance. The 84-year-old there's no person of interest, no suspect in this case. The police ended up sharing additional details about the evidence they have recovered thus far, as well as the timeline, a more detailed timeline. We now know that the blood in front of the door there at Nancy Guthrie's home is in fact hers. They ended up filling a little bit more gaps on the timeline regarding when she arrived at home just before 10 o'clock at 9:50. Her garage door closes. Then around 1:17 in the morning, there is the doorbell at the front door that is disconnected. We were out there Tuesday afternoon. We did in fact see that the doorbell was missing. The bracket's still there. We don't know what happened to that camera. They also said that around 2:17 in the morning, there was some motion in the house. However, because she didn't subscribe to the cloud service for the video service that she had, it ended up recording over it. And at this point, authorities say that there is no way to recover any of that video. And then a few minutes later, her pacemaker ended up disconnecting from her phone. The FBI now offering a $50,000 reward. The local Crime Stoppers hotline here had been offering a $2,500 reward. They've anteed up the money. They've also now posted billboards here in Tucson and around the region with Nancy Guthrie's face to try and drum up more tips in this case. They are working several hundred leads as we speak. Yesterday, we learned that there is a 24/7 command post that has been set up at the Tucson FBI offices. Agents there, as well as analysts, are combing through the video cameras they've gathered so far there in the area. They're talking to neighbors as well as family members and friends, anyone who is associated with that family. And they are also reviewing the cell phone data to determine which cell phones were in the area around the time of the disappearance. Again, last seen dropped off by her son-in-law at 9:45 Saturday night and reported missing just before noon on Sunday.
So, Andres, you know, authorities have been talking a lot about this ransom note that they're taking seriously. Why do we think that they think this might be authentic, and how does it compare to other hoaxes that have come pouring in?
Yeah, Adriana, at this point, there are 3 alleged ransom notes out there. 2 of them were received by television stations here in Tucson, another one by TMZ, and they are still working to verify this, right? And so a reporter during yesterday's news conference asked, how do you do that? What's their criteria? How do you vet this? And essentially, it's these deadlines. One of them ended up passing. It was yesterday at 5 o'clock local time. The other deadline is coming up here Monday. If this deadline comes through on Monday and there is no communication, they're still trying to establish contact with the alleged kidnappers, it'll be likely that law enforcement will end up deeming that this is not a credible note, and they will continue on in their investigation. And there are some sick and twisted people out there that amidst all this are trying to take advantage of the Guthrie family. One of them allegedly is Derek Kallela. He's a former LA County employee who has been charged for trying to reach out to the family, who actually, in fact, apparently, according to court documents, did. He's been charged in federal court yesterday. He ended up reaching out, tracking down the family on Thursday, and admitted to sending a fake ransom demand. He apparently texted them, quote, "Did you get the Bitcoins that we're waiting for on our end for the transaction?" And then I tried to apparently call the family for about, ended up calling them, hanging up. The call lasted about 9 seconds. Eventually, cops ended up tracking him down, arrested him. And this guy has been accused of doing theft in the past. He stole some county funds a couple of years ago, and so he's been charged. So again, sick and twisted people out there, and prosecutors say that they'll charge them to the full extent of the law.
Honestly, what is wrong with people?
It's unbelievable, and it's absolutely heartbreaking to be putting the family through something like this, given all that they're dealing with. Andreas, thank you very much for your reporting on the ground. We'll check in with you a little bit later.
All right, Anna Schecter joins us now. She is the senior coordinating producer for CBS News' Crime and Public Safety Unit, so the perfect person we want to talk to right now to try to break this all down, make sense of the senseless. Anna, Camron Guthrie released that video yesterday. What details in the video indicated anything to you? You know, we have the first deadline had passed. There's a second deadline. What does all that mean?
Well, the fact that he is putting out yet another video means that there has been zero communication since the initial ransom note was sent through a tip line. So there was an email account created. It went through the tip line to the local news stations and to TMZ. So that initial outreach passed to the Guthrie family. I am sure the FBI carefully crafted a response, sent it back, and then it's been crickets. Nothing. So they're asking for a proof of life, because do they go and transfer this huge amount of money, probably, into a cryptocurrency account with no guarantee that whoever is behind that account actually still has Nancy Guthrie? This is an unbelievable dilemma. What do you do as a family? They're choosing to put out these videos as Hail Mary passes, just to get them, the kidnappers, to engage.
So Adriana and I spoke to Ed Smart. His family, as you know, Anna, dealt with a similar situation when his daughter Elizabeth was kidnapped at the age of 14 in Salt Lake City. She was found alive 9 months later. Here's what he had to say about the case.
During Elizabeth's ordeal, we had this search that went on for days, and we were so grateful for the outpouring of love that we felt from the community. That was a huge support in trying to deal with the whole situation, and it brought us great hope that, you know, with all of this effort from everyone, and certainly the media played a huge role, you know, we thought, you know, if everyone's out there looking, we're going to find her, and certainly we hope the same for Nancy.
So, Anna, what might police have learned about cases like this? One of the things that I asked Ed, for example, is that at one point he was considered a person of interest. And Ed had some really interesting insight, because I wasn't aware of how this worked, which is that police naturally have to talk to every family member, including the people who might have seen the victim last. That's just part of police procedure. It's difficult because in his case, Ed said he knew that he had nothing to do with Elizabeth's disappearance. But once the police have done that, then they can also begin talking and figuring out like other possible suspects. What did you make of his response?
Well, police do that because of statistics, because statistically speaking, the vast majority of violent crimes are carried out by somebody who knows the victim. And so that's, of course, where they look first. And I think what Mr. Smart said that was so insightful is, don't just focus, say, oh, it's got to be the last person that saw the victim, because not necessarily. And so when you're focusing on a family member, the fear is that you're discounting other leads and you're not putting enough weight on potentially somebody who had been casing Nancy Guthrie's home, potentially, for example. Let's look at the community. Let's look at the Tucson community, because these ransom notes, if real, were sent to local news stations. That, to me, was significant. The fact that the individual knew about the doorbell camera, that points to potentially somebody having cased the house or having seen that house, known how to quickly, quietly disable it and take it off of, unscrew it and take it away from the premises.
Do we know if it was ripped off or anything like that? And what is significant about Bitcoin being the currency of choice here?
This is a great question. Bitcoin has opened up this whole wild west of criminal activity. Romance scams now. People are trying to get victims to put money into Bitcoin because it is so much harder to trace. Now, how do you trace Bitcoin? It's when it's moved from Bitcoin to a normal banking system or to a known criminal organization operating in the dark web that the FBI is already aware of. So it's when the money is moved. But if the money just goes into this wallet, the wallet is anonymous. Very difficult to find out who is behind the wallet. However, the FBI has been catching up to the criminals. They have a very sophisticated team on this right now. There might be a strategy to put a little bit of money into that Bitcoin account and see what happens, see if it moves. When it moves, that's when the FBI can get on the trail.
Wow. All right. Anna Schecter, thank you very much, as always, for your insight.